Hello from New York, I'm Nadia. This is the Rundown, where I like to give you culture on the run. I've been wanting to make this rundown, this specific episode, for a while. Say it again?
Make sure to share, subscribe, and like the video.
Thank you! He just gave you the lowdown on what I want you to do after watching this. I've been wanting to make this rundown for a while. It is a special episode dedicated to Biggie Smalls, to Christopher Wallace. He would have been 45 this past May. It's been 20 years, over 20 years since he was killed, shot in LA on the other side of the coast. Of course, he was the East Coast King, nicknamed by the sources the King of New York. So I thought I'd start off this rundown, give you the rundown about his life, some of the places that influenced him here in Brooklyn, starting off by George Westinghouse high school, the high school of course that he once went to before he dropped out. So let's go. At one time or another, DMX, Jay-Z and Biggie Smalls all walked through the doors of the school, the high school, even though we know he didn't continue his schooling. He talks about it in a couple of his songs, but students there can study culinary arts, thanks, but no, culinary arts, as well as IT. It's not on my route, but just down there is the original Juniors, 1950 building. And apparently Biggie used to be a big fan of strawberry cheesecake. One of the reasons I've been wanting to do this rundown, a Biggie style rundown, is because you can't run through Brooklyn without experiencing some part of his spirit that's still around. Commandant Biggie, one of the most prominent murals put up by very famous street artist Lee Quinones. He obviously did him in the style of Che Guevara. And yeah, it's done for a banner outpost across the street, but it's really become a significant piece of street art here, memorializing Biggie Smalls. It was all a dream. And of course, running along Fulton Street, this is now the heart of Biggie's land, so to speak. He was known as the mayor of St. James Place, which is where we're running towards. I'm still relatively new to New York, only been here about 6 years, but I have read a lot about how Brooklyn has changed. Lots of changes, but I like the parts of it that have tried to keep his memory alive or mark significant places that had an impact on culture, on entertainment as we know it today. Country House Diner, according to those who knew him, Biggie used to spend a lot of time there. Not sure if they have the Big Papa menu of T-bone steak, cheese, grape, what? Cheese, eggs, and Welsh's grape. I'm trying to quote Biggie, Big Papa, and I can't remember the lyric. I am the worst at remembering lyrics for rap songs. 80s music, Disney songs I can do, but not rap songs. Everywhere you look, there's a piece or a part of Biggie. And now we reach the nexus of what someone's called actually Brooklyn's Abbey Road in a way. This is the center, the heart of where Biggie used to be. They want to actually call St. James Place and Fulton Street, this intersection, Christopher Wallace Way. There is a petition to get that renaming done. I was very lucky one day, I actually got to see Chris Pinto, the artist, put this mural up, the mosaic glass, which is of course right outside the Key Food. This used to be Met Food. We know Biggie Smalls used to make his living selling drugs, but when he did try and pack bags for tips, and it was here at the grocery store that used to be called Met Food. And David Hollier has done a piece of street art up there. If you can see it, he has written the words, the lyrics to Sky's the Limit from Ready to Die into the shape of the baby's face on the album cover. I don't know if you can see it, you need to be quite high up. There's another mural when this comes down by Fulton Bikes by Vince Ballantyne, but this, I mean, There are so many. There are about 4 just on this block. Vince Valentine. Just around the corner here is where Biggie used to live. He referred to it as his one-room shack, if I recall correctly, but now it's worth in the millions. I think it's $1 million for this apartment. And across the street, the Orient Temple is, according to the legend, has it, he used to perform there. Ah, and you see, what do we see? Another Biggie street art piece from Uncut Art. This is the most recent Biggie street art piece that was done. It was under the banner of Spread Art NYC. It almost got torn down by the landlord, but a lot of people were petitioning him and there was a lot of concern about it, which is great that it gets to stay up because it's really one of the best pieces. This is about the spot where he had a legendary battle with Supreme, the rapper Supreme. Apparently this is where it happened, right here on Quincy and Bedford streets. So a little piece of history memorialized and immortalized by this giant street mural, which I really, really love. And I hope you can see it. The lighting isn't so great this afternoon, so I'm just gonna cross the street. Oh, sorry, didn't see there. I was standing behind the car. King of New York. And it really is quite a spectacular one. So I know I didn't hit all the spots. There are so many murals of Biggie all over. So if I missed one of your favorite spots that you remember Biggie, or if you live in Brooklyn, apologies, I don't proclaim to know everything, but I just wanted to share some of the spots. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to The Rundown on my YouTube channel. Like this video, share it. Maybe come run with me. How about we do the Biggie run in Brooklyn? Bye.